Just a quick intro of Sir is Dr. R.S. Rai is Professor, Decision Science and Director, Research Planning and Statistical Services and Quality Assurance and Enhancement Departments at Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, where he has been since 2005. He received a BSc in Statistics, Mathematics and Physics, MSc in Statistics, Masters in International Business, PhD in Statistics from MLS University Udaipur, and Green Belt in Six Sigma from ISI Kolkata. His research interests span statistics, operation research, research methodology, operations management, total quality management, Six Sigma. He has made numerous contributions to research and management, utilizing statistical tools and techniques, having produced his research papers in internationally indexed journals. He had been editor of Amity Business Review and is on editorial and review board of other journals. 12 research scholars have been doctoral degree under his guidance, and 7 research scholars are currently doing PhD under his supervision. I think the introduction is so long that we cannot finish in one workshop. So Sir is here to give you very useful tools that is going to be useful in your research, and the students are going to be very, the tools are going to be useful in their dissertations that they are going to be doing in this semester. So I hope all of you are going to enjoy the session and learn whatever the tools are going to be discussed by the sir in this workshop. So welcome you, sir. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amity School of Business, and particularly Dr. Gaurav Sood for giving me this opportunity to interact with your participants of this very prestigious conference, GLOBUSS, which is in, I believe, 6th season, right? Season 4. GLOBUSS Season 4. So I am here to talk to you about a few of the digital tools that we can use to save our time and to help us do the research effectively and efficiently. Now, before I move, I know that many of you must be already using many of the digital tools. So maybe few of them would be sort of repetition for you, and maybe few of them would be new for you. Since the time is limited, so what I've done is I've selected 10 or 11 tools to help us in conducting research. And then what you can do is you can later on explore it and see the potential of those tools. But before I start, do you know what all, I hope each one of you are here from Amity, or is there anyone from outside also? Okay, right, thank you. So if you are from Amity, you know there are a lot of digital tools available to you, which is being subscribed by university and which you can always access through our e-library link on our Amazon. One of them is Scopus. Then you have few of the journals which we have subscribed, right? Like Science Direct, Taylor and Francis, and few of them. So Scopus is one such very good index, right? Where you can go and see the Scopus research articles. So I hope all of you know how to search in Scopus, how to use Scopus. If not, then at the end I'll tell you about that. But these are few of the indexes where you can search quality research paper. You see, whenever we do research, we build upon the already done research, right? You all know that. And whenever you send any research paper for publication, or if you write dissertation or summer internship report, the assessor would see the references that you have made, right? Means on what earlier researches you have built your research upon. Now, if they are not quality research papers, means you are poor informed to do your research. But if they are good quality seminal research papers, it means you are well informed, your review of literature is strong, and therefore your base is strong on which you have built your own research. So the probability of that research paper getting accepted, right, is higher than the probability of a research paper where you have very poor referencing. Now, how to decide which research paper is a quality research paper? See, there is no such kilogram or centimeter to measure that this is 100 centimeters research paper, this is 50 kilograms. So this is a good call. This is a subjective judgment, but at least if we search those research papers from good indexes, right, they have their own quality parameters, right, and they don't let any journal into their website if that journal doesn't adhere to the quality checks of these indexes. So I'm naming few of them. Scopus is one such, and we have subscription of Scopus. So if you have Scopus indexed articles, you are assured of the quality of the article. And then within Scopus, you can also see the journal falls in which percentile. For example, if the percentile of a journal is 99, it means that in its subject area, journal is amongst top 1% journals, right? So they have quartile 1 journals, means top 25% journals in the world, then quartile 2 journals, from 50 to 74%, quartile 3, quartile 4, and so on. Similarly, you have DOAJ, Directory of Open Access Journals. Now, it is a myth that if it is open access, it is poor quality. No. Open access is only it has changed the way the science, the research is communicated to the consumers of the research, the reader. You would have seen that you click a research paper, you like the topic, you like the abstract, but then when you click it, and if you want to read the full text, it would say pay $30, pay 50 euros. And a research scholar or a researcher is not a millionaire, right? To write a research paper, you may have to go through 30, 40, 50 research papers, right? You can't shell out that huge amount of money. So it is sort of, the research is kept behind a paywall. Now, open access is what? They charge article processing fees prior to publication, and the published material is freely available. Only hindrance is that you need to have internet, right? So DOAJ is Directory of Open Access Journals. It is maintained by a society, not-for-profit society, IS4OA. Prior to it, it was maintained by Lund University, and now they maintain it, and they also have their own quality standards. So you can, if you land up searching DOAJ articles, you will land up on a page where the full text would be available to you. Similarly, Web of Science. Web of Science is the product of Clarivate Analytics. Earlier it was Thomson Reuters. But Scopus and Web of Science are paid, their subscription model, right? And individual can't take their subscription, it's very high, some 50-60 lakhs a year. So organizations, they take the subscription. For example, we have subscription of GLOBUSS. And then PubMed is primarily for biological sciences and medical sciences. It is also open access. So for us, management, non-science, DOAJ is one of the best. Then I'll show you a few of the tools where you can download full text research papers legally, right? You may have heard about SciHub, SCI Hub, right? Now it is known as Black Open Access. Why they call it Black Open Access? The founder of SciHub is a lady, Alexandra Albayken, SNO. She's from Kazakhstan, and when she was studying in Russia, for her final year dissertation work, she wanted to have few of the papers. But then she could not download them because of heavy article downloading charges. So she felt irritated. So she thought, I will develop something which will pull out research from the shackles of these huge money-making businesses. Now, what journals are doing, you see, this is one of the best business. If you have a good journal, are they doing research? Who is doing research? The researcher. Are they paying to conduct the research? No. It is either the researcher's money being invested, or money of a university being invested into the research, or money of some government body invested in that research. Means it is public money, right? Which is being invested into research. The output of research is being communicated to the journal, right? Now the journals, they send them to 2 or 3 referees to do review. Are they paying to the reviewers? No. The reviewer are investing their time to review the article and give comments. Now what the journals are doing, they are publishing research of somebody else. Why that researcher is publishing? Number one, for credit only, not for money. Why the reviewer is reviewing? For credit. मेरे resume में लिखूंगा और मेरे आगे future में काम आएगा, life, right? And the journal is minting millions. Right? Now, few of the thinkers and scholars, they have thought, you don't have to do anything. You are just managing the editorial.
अब तो मैं बैग ही ले जाऊंगी ना, मुझे मैं जा ही रही हूँ साथ में, तो फिर मैं छोटा पर्स ले लूं। हाँ हाँ, आप छोटा ले लो आराम से। कोई भी ले लो, मुझे जस्ट मैच कर रहा है आपकी ड्रेस के साथ।
Can I request the participants not to cross talks? So the journal is only managing the show. So what do they need is, at the maximum, processing fees to manage their editorial team, to manage their office, etc. Right? So this is how this concept of open access came into being. If you can have a researcher in a remote area in a university which doesn't have huge library budget to access, to have subscription, and even a biggest of the university in the world cannot have access of all journals across the world. In 2021 only, MIT, one of #1 university, right, as per QS and THE rankings, they have stopped their subscription with Elsevier journals because Elsevier was not adhering to their open access policies, right? So it's not that MIT doesn't have budget, but they don't even have unlimited budget. They also have to do a lot of other things for their students. So it is our responsibility also to keep research free out of the chains, right? Now, what are the methods? Number one, whenever you write research paper, and if it is published, and if you don't have any embargo by the journal, mount it, upload it on sites like researchgate.com, like medium.com, right? Which they have archive of research, right? So that whenever a person would do keyword search, your research paper would come in front of that person, right? So another thing, you will get citations also. When you will get citations, when researchers across the world will read your research, when they will read your research, when it's available for them to read, and when it would be available for them to read, right? The probability that a researcher would read your research paper is high when it is free in front of the researcher, right? So if there is no embargo by the journal, there are journals, they put embargo, for example, for 1 year. That after 1 year, you can mount your research paper on the research archives, right? There are sites like archive.com, researchgate.com, medium.com, and several others. There are research repositories of universities, right? So please mount it on the as author. You can mount your preprint also. You can mount your post-print also. You can mount your final version of your print also, right? But provided the journal is allowing you. If on the dotted lines you have signed that for next 12 months you can't upload the free copy of this research paper, you should not. So let's move ahead. So few of the Chrome extensions for academic research, right? Which will make our life little easy. Because in research, what is most important is the time, right? And our interest into research. If an activity is taking more time, right, the likelihood is that we will lose interest into that research. अभी आपको WhatsApp पे वीडियो आते हैं, आप देखते हो 10 मिनट का, छोड़ो नेक्स्ट, 2 मिनट का चलो देख लेते हैं, होता है ना? And when there is a video of longer duration, and if you want somebody to see, so then you have to write a line. भाई जरूर देखना हो, बहुत important है. You will like it, right? I recommend, please see this. Means we are into an era, we are flooded with lot of information, so we have to be choosy to select what we have to see. So we have said extension will help us to save time. So one of such extension is this extension. Its name is unpaywall.org. A beautiful one to search research article and full text academic research articles. And it would give you legal options. So you just see, this is yesterday's screenshot. They have 46 million scholarly articles. Unpaywall.org. Unpaywall.org. I'll show you the functioning. Go to Chrome and just type unpaywall. Now you see 46, 286, 309. मेरी स्लाइड में कितना है? 46, 281, 780. ये मैंने कल रात को स्क्रीनशॉट लिया है, देखो. और ये अभी का है, बढ़ते जा रहे हैं ना, 311. So what is their model? They give you free legal access to open access articles, right? They would crawl through all the databases, all indexes, which provides. Now, it may happen that on a particular site, you found a journal, you found an article, and that site is asking $30. But if you have this extension, it will tell you, hey, on the other side, right, it is available for free, legally available for free. Maybe the author of the article would have mounted there, uploaded the full text, or maybe due to some other model, it is available there, right? So all you have to do is you have to get the extension and you have to add to the Chrome. Click add to Chrome. It's free. Now, since I have already added it, so it says remove from the Chrome. Otherwise, it will tell you to add to the Chrome, right? Now, just check. Let me search some article from Nature Journal, which is a very famous journal. Now, it's an article, how you first brush with COVID. Let's click it. Now you see, you will get a link, a tag here. It is showing brown, right? It can show you green, brown, gray. So let's see what happens. If you click it, it has given you the full text article, right? ये मुझे डिस्टर्ब कर रहा है, ये कैसे हटेगा? Now, let us search some other article from this journal. You see, it is showing gray. And if I click it, the unpaywall extension couldn't find any legal open access version of this article. So if anywhere on the web, if legal open access version is available, right, it will help you to track that. Okay. Let me search another Academy of Management journal. Current issue. There are few journals, they allow the authors to upload paper after 6 months, after 1 year. The author may have uploaded it on its own website, or maybe website of its department or university or some other repository. But because what we would do is we would go to the famous site, or we would go to the homepage of the journal to search the article, and there it would ask us to pay the money. We don't know that it is available on the author's website also. This unpaywall would search and would give you. Let's take example. I click this article. Only thing you have to do is click an article. As soon as an article is here, it will come here, right? So you don't have this. All you could do is search the name of the author, and please check whether the author has his or her own website and is full text available there, or write to the author, right? Generally, many authors, they send the full text article to the research scholars for free, right? Let us go to scopus.com. and say I am searching some documents here. Customer retention. Now, how Scopus is helping you? Number one, it tells you out of 443 documents, these 689 documents are open access. Open access means you have free legal full text article available, right? Even if it is not open access, click the article, view full text option and click view at publisher. Now it is an article. Immediately you will see you got this here, PDF help, right? Just click on this PDF. If I click get access, it would ask for money. But my unpaywall, what it has done is, it has searched for PDF, right? And it would download that PDF and would give it to me if it is free, right? Legal. Otherwise, it is asking money. So must be it is available somewhere else. So this is one of the tools. Note down the name, unpaywall.org, right? You should have this. Then you all must be using Mendeley. There is another tool also, very smart tool known as Jotero. It is very important is that it is free, right? So all you have to do is you have to download the extension and it will give you a Word plugin also. So what you can do with Word plugin is you can cite while you write. And what is the important thing that Mendeley and Jotero will help us is, if you write a research paper and if you send it to Journal X and say Journal X is using IEEE style of referencing, and if your research paper get rejected, you improve it and now you send it to Journal Y, and Journal Y is using APA style of referencing. Now if you do it manually, you will have to change every in-text reference citation, and then you will have to change all the references at the end of the research paper. And also in one style, name of journal is in italics. In other style, it is not italics. In one style, you put colon. In other style, you put semicolon. In one style, you have to put comma. In other style, you don't have to put comma, and so on. You cannot remember all of them. And for citing journal, there is different rule. For citing book, there is a different rule. For citing book chapter, there is a different rule. For citing a website, there is a different rule, right? But when you are taking help of these citation managers like Mendeley or Jotero, all you have to do is just click change from IEEE to APA, and it would change in seconds. All in-text citations also, and at the end of the research paper also, right? So since I have less time, I'm just showing you the glimpse. You go to Jotero, download it, right? And you will enjoy and you will thank me later. Personally nahi kar paoge, man se to karoge. You see, you can make your own library like this, right? You can import all research papers which are there in your hard disk, right? Which you found online, you can all download here. You can make online notes. You can scribble online, right? You can do your own annotations as you are doing on the notepad or diary. And best part is this, you can access it from anywhere of the world. And once you've done this, it helps you in organize, and then you can directly do it. Citations in Word, in Google Docs, wherever you are typing your research, right? It is known as cite while you write. The same facility is available in Mendeley also. Mendeley, there are few limitations of the space, but Zotero is totally free, right? So this is one of the tools to insert citations. I hope that you have noted it down. Mendeley, you already know, many of you. The two of our guests, do you know about Mendeley? So I would recommend you please note down Mendeley, right? And Mendeley, they have their own YouTube channel. Go there and you would see 2 to 3 minute videos how to use Mendeley. It is free, right? All you need to do is you should have an Elsevier login, right? Because time is less, so I am telling you about the products. What you could do is you can later on explore yourself. Now this is one of the beautiful tools, online summarizing tool. ठीक है? हमारे बचपन में स्कूल से प्रोजेक्ट मिलता था, मम्मी पापा समराइज करके हमको बताते थे, बेटा ये देखो ये याद कर. And all moms they used to do this still अभी एक रिसर्च पेपर है 20 पेज का, भाई कोई शॉर्ट में बता दे इसमें क्या लिखा है तो यार मेरा जीवन आसान हो. So this is an artificial intelligence tool. It would summarize the research paper and it will keep that in front of you. Summary पढ़ो, फिर आप डिसाइड कर लो फुल टेक्स्ट पढ़ना है कि नहीं. ठीक है ना? जैसे आजकल हम डिसाइड करते हैं मूवी देखना है कि नहीं, उसका वो देखते हैं किसने क्या लिखा. रेडियो मिर्ची वाले ने 5 मिर्ची दिया है, 3 मिर्ची दिया है, कोई स्टार देता है, राइट? पहले हम कैसे डिसाइड करते थे, दोस्त मूवी देख के आया है वो हमको बता रहा, और अच्छा यार एक मुक्का मार के गिरा दिया उसने, मारा यार, यू मस्ट सी. व्हाट इज दैट? दैट इज अ समरी. ठीक है? सो लेट्स सी दिस ब्यूटीफुल थिंग. paperdigest.com, paper-digest.com. So let's see a sample. अभी फ्री है बिकॉज इनका बीटा वर्जन है. जब तक ये पैसा नहीं लेने लगे तब तक आप अपना काम कर लो. ये देखो, in seconds it has done summary for us. 1 page summary. What this paper is about, what you can learn. What you can do is you can click search, and if you have DOI, type DOI here. Let us see some DOI. Say I search service quality research paper of Parshurama. एब्स्ट्रैक्ट में पूरी समरी नहीं होती है, नंबर 1, और इसमें पूरा पढ़ के और आपको मोर देन एब्स्ट्रैक्ट देंगे. थोड़ा सा बड़ा भाई. हाँ जी, हाँ जी. स्टोर वहां से कॉपी करके अपने वर्ड में ले लो. देखो एब्स्ट्रैक्ट में मिल रहा है, तो ये जिद तो नहीं कर रहा है कि तुम मेरे पास आओ, एब्स्ट्रैक्ट मत पढ़ो, ये हमको एक एक्स्ट्रा हेल्प है। टीचरों ने फ्री में हमको समरी करके दे रहे ना। अरे वाह, देखो हमारे आदमी जुगाड़ पहले लगाते हैं। अभी देखिए ये पेपर है, मैंने इसका DOI कॉपी किया यहाँ से, हाँ, और यहाँ पे आपको DOI डालना है और क्लिक करना है, एंड यू डू इट फॉर 5-6 पेपर्स एंड सी एब्स्ट्रैक्ट में और इसमें क्या डिफरेंस है। जो भी DOI दोगे, जो यहाँ पे है, इसको आर्टिकल मिलेगा या आपको समरी करके देगा। देखो ये बना कर रहा है ना, ये आपका आंसर इसने दे दिया। जो इसको जब बेचारा पूरा पढ़ेगा नहीं तो समरी कैसे देगा, ये बताओ। हाँ नहीं, वो बेचारे फ्री में दे रहे। पेपर डाइजेस्ट इज फॉर स्टूडेंट्स हु वांट टू रीड मोर पेपर्स इन लेस टाइम, हमारे स्टूडेंट के लिए। रिसर्चर्स हु वांट टू कम्युनिकेट हिज हर रिसर्च क्विकली, साइंस कम्युनिकेटर हु वांट टू इफेक्टिवली समराइज द रिसर्च। ठीक है, अगर आप वो हो, साइंस जर्नलिस्ट हो और आपको आर्टिकल लिखना है, so you will definitely like this. Then next, literature review, very important, and you will love this. Literature review, mapping and discovery tools. First thing is citation gecko, right? अभी क्या है, let's go to this. I'm taking it to अभी ये बोल रहे हैं थैंक यू भैया, अभी हमने इस पे काम करना बंद कर दिया है, एंड गो टू लिट मैप्स। लिट मैप्स भी बताऊंगा मैं, बट ये बोल रहे हैं citation gecko is a tool I built to fill an unmet need I had when doing the literature review for my PhD. Unfortunately, I am no longer actively developing citation gecko. लेकिन इन्होंने क्लोज नहीं किया, जितना डेवलप्ड है उतना तो है। So if you want to keep using citation gecko, feel free. So click here. What you could do is start discovering paper. If you have your library in Mendeley, right, you can search from there. If you have library in Jotero, जो अभी मैंने आपको टूल बताया, you can import from there. You can search for papers directly from citation gecko also, or if you have BibTeX repository, you can do it from there. So let me search it from Mendeley. So it will ask your permission, your login to connect to your Mendeley and pull out your papers from there. It's taking little time, but a very beautiful tool to help you to write literature review. Because in literature review, you would like to see the connected research papers, and you would like to see the ongoing discussion on that research. इसने ये बोला, उसके बाद किसने क्या बोला, किसने क्या बोला, that you have to write. So it is going to my Mendeley. भाग गया वापस. So you can add papers from Mendeley, right? So आपके Mendeley के फोल्डर यहाँ आ रहे हैं. अभी मेरे Mendeley में कोई इस वाले में फोल्डर नहीं है, so I have to change my login to another Mendeley folder where I have kept my folders. So say I am selecting solar energy, right? So it will access my Mendeley folder and it will pull out all those research papers here. And say I select this as sheet paper. So I have to add this sheet paper here and I have to click outside. So it is not giving me any of the papers. Let me select another paper. Say I select service quality. It takes little time. 5G आ जाएगा फिर time नहीं लगेगा. In the meantime मैं आपको दूसरे पे भी ले जाता हूँ. Lit maps, right? litmaps.com, apps.litmaps.com. It's taking a lot of time. Now, litmaps s app.litmaps.com. So you can create a free account here, or what you could do is you can search an article here, putting DOI or author, right? Let me put this DOI. Let's see it is searching or not. So आप देखो DOI डालते ही पेपर को सर्च करके ले आया. You have to select the paper and you have to click continue and you have to click generate seed map. So it is finding 0 articles, right? Let's go back and put another article. ये वाला तो अभी ढूंढ ही रहा है यार. You can find article here also.
ये unpaywall की substitute product. Like unpaywall, we can also search articles in app.lit.
हाँ, लेकिन यहाँ जरूरी नहीं आपको full text मिलेगा. It will generate seed map for you. You will see. So it has created this seed map for you, right? This paper and which all papers have cited this, right? And then if you click that paper, you can read that article here, right? और देखो और कोई पेपर हम सर्च करते हैं. Yes, ये सीड मैप क्या बनाया इन्होंने? Top related article. These papers have cited this paper. Means you are able to see the ongoing discussion. भैया इन पेपर ने इसको साइट किया है। हाँ इसको आपस में एक एक खोल के देखना पड़ेगा। यहाँ पे आप पूरा टाइमलाइन एक साथ दिखाएगा। अभी अभी देखो एक पेपर और डालते हैं। Citation. Which paper? This paper has cited. Which earlier paper? This paper has cited. Which paper after this paper they have cited. You will get a full time map. So आपको easy होगा। Scopus भी help करता है ना। अभी आप बोलोगे देखो दिल्ली से जाना है मुंबई, राजधानी जाता है, आपको मैंने फर्स्ट एसी का टिकट दिया है। आप बोलोगे जनरल वाला डब्बा भी तो जाता है, जाता दोनों है, फर्स्ट एसी, सेकंड एसी, थर्ड एसी, जनरल, सेम टाइम में जाता है। वो इकोनॉमी क्लास में बैठो, बिजनेस क्लास में बैठो, टाइम सेम लगता है जाने। थोड़ा कंफर्ट का फर्क है ना, एक्सपीरियंस का फर्क है। अभी मैं एक पेपर ढूंढ रहा हूँ, इसका मैंने कल बनाया था। अभी ये सीट मैप देखो आप। Now left to right is the date and more citations top to bottom. You see, this is your seat paper of 2008, right? इसने 1988 का ये पेपर को साइट किया है। हमारा ये सीट पेपर है, 1988 का ये पेपर है, और इस पेपर को और बाकी और किन्हों ने साइट किया ये भी दिया इसने। देन 1984 का ये पेपर है। सो लेफ्ट टू राइट इज द टाइम एंड ये साइज जो है कितना किनको साइटेशन मिला है, अकॉर्डिंगली ये बॉल का साइज होता है, राइट। ये पेपर को इन्होंने साइट किया है, ये पेपर है, एंड इफ यू क्लिक द सीट यू विल गेट दिस। सो पूरा इंटरलिंकिंग बन रहा है, क्लियर। And if you click a paper, immediately you could see its detail here. This is lit map, very beautiful tool. ये citing geeko वाला भी बहुत स्लो है, क्योंकि उसने लिख रखा भैया मैंने इस पर काम करना बंद कर दिया है, तुम्हें ज्यादा इस्तेमाल सही चाहिए तो लिट मैप में जाओ, इसी ने लिख रखा है। सीड मैप यू कैन सेव, आपको यहाँ अकाउंट बनाना पड़ेगा, क्रिएट फ्री अकाउंट, देन यू कैन सेव इट। या अभी आप देखो, आपको लेटेस्ट भी आपको ढूंढना नहीं पड़ेगा। ये 2020 का पेपर है, और फिर जो पेपर सेलेक्ट कर रहे हो वापिस आप क्लिक करो, उसका सीड मैप पे दिखा देगा। विच एवर पेपर यूर, ये पेपर मान लो सेलेक्ट किया, ये लेफ्ट में पैनल में खुल गया, यहाँ क्लिक करो व्यू सीट मैप, इट विल ओपन अनदर सीट मैप फॉर दैट पेपर। सो ये देखो पेपर अभी 2020 का है। सो ये 2 साल में इसका क्या सीट मैप बनना ये दिखा रहा है, राइट। बैकवर्ड फॉरवर्ड पूरा कनेक्शन। ये 1988 का पेपर है। इसका सीड मैप अभी ये क्रिएट करेगा। As a researcher, what do we need? Number one, we need a lot of quality research papers to read, through which we will build upon our research paper, our review literature. So we should use DOJ, we should use Unpaywall, where you'll get all free full text research papers, right? And we can have multiple options for searching. ठीक है? Lit maps. Then there is one more, open knowledge maps, right? Open knowledge maps. नेट बंद हो गया है, चल रहा है। यू सी, ये परशुरामन का सीड मैप बनाया इन्होंने। इस पेपर को आप देखिए 21-22 के लेटेस्ट रिसर्च पेपर। If you want latest research paper, you can come on this side. If you want previous research paper, you can come here 1980, 81, right? Now this is openknowledgemaps.org. It's also free tool. आज मैं जितने भी बताए सारे फ्री है, पैसा नहीं देने का किसी को। हाँ जी मैम। ओनली स्कोपस में हमको देना पड़ता है पैसा, बट देन इट इज ऑर्गेनाइजेशन सब्सक्रिप्शन। डीओएजे इंडेक्सिंग अभी हमारे यूजीसी ने नहीं दिया है। इट इज लाइक तुम्हारा दूसरे देश का ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस है तो इंडिया में क्यों नहीं चला सकते? तो हमारे भारत का हायर एजुकेशन में रूल यूजीसी बनाएगा, तो अभी उन्होंने नहीं दिया, इसीलिए। अभी देखो इसका ओपन नॉलेज में वो डीओआई डालते हैं हम। वो डीओआई कहाँ गया? बस 1 मिनट भाई। ये लास्ट ये देख लेते हैं। So this knowledge map, it uses text similarity, not only the citation, right? Keyword also. और इसमें आपको बहुत अच्छा लगेगा, अभी आप देखो। मैं ये देखिए, ये इसने बना दिया, राइट, नॉलेज मैप कीवर्ड्स के हिसाब से। अभी बहुत सबसे ज्यादा कीवर्ड ये बिग बॉल दे आर यूजिंग, यू हैव टू जस्ट क्लिक द बॉल, it will tell you about all the research papers in this ball. You can select a particular one, और लेफ्ट में आपको उसका पूरा लिंक मिल जाएगा, DOI etc everything, right? So you know which all areas are having more conversation within your area, right? For example, I have clicked here digital education. It is showing digital education, digital literacy, communicative competence. अगर ये keywords में आपको research paper चाहिए, just click this and you'll get all research papers here. And on the left panel, it will tell you whether it is open access or not. If it is open access, just click on PDF and download, right? So thank you very much. Organizers have told me that my time is over. I'm just finishing it up. So these are, I've selected 10. There are a lot many other digital tools to help us. Because of paucity of time, I've selected these few tools, which we should have, right? And we must utilize them. Why I've selected these one are because they are free, right? There are many paid also tools, but some of them they would ask you $10 for a month, some of them they will ask you $20 for a month, some of them they would ask you $50 for a month. For pro version, max pro, कितने कितने वर्जन होते हैं आजकल वो देखने के लिए, super max pro version, different money, but we can use these digital tools to make our research life easy. I once again thanks the organizers, ASB team, very much for giving me this opportunity to speak to you all. I hope I have not bored you with this. Thank you very much.
Present how the papers will be presented. First of all, we'll have Shivangi Priya ma'am who will be presenting on dark data. Then we'll have Sundar Mittal ma'am who will be presenting on women entrepreneurship in fashion industry. Then we'll have Pratyansha Singh and will be presenting on analyzing the impact of customer engagement on customer retention in the Indian healthcare industry. Then we'll have Nidhi Agrawal ma'am will be presenting on does fake word of mouth on social media has the ability to affect the consumer purchase intention. Thank you. Now, like
can be taken out but are never used in any way by any organization to gain profit out of it. According to one estimate, 7.5 septillion gigabytes of data are generated worldwide each day, and only 55% of it has been used, and rest all are unused. Many organizations have allowed their data to go dark. According to IDC, that is International Data Corporation, 90% of the disorganized data kept in the organization is never ever investigated even to gain profit out of it. Dark data is a valuable asset which tends to provide unstructured information that is not available in any other format. However, with so much of information out there to collect, process, and analyze, it is no mystery that the majority sectors are not using it to its full potential. Now, let me take a look at some of the literature reviews concerning the topic. So these are the literature reviews. Prior research done by P. Bryan, Gretchen R. and Julie Stephan, published on 11th May 2018, says that Dark data will be helpful to business organizations in day-to-day life where competition is growing every day. As we all know that, every day new startups are happening, new brands are coming, new people are coming with new innovative ideas. So the competition is growing very, very much every day. Another researcher, David Rensel, John Gens, on April 2017 has suggested that not all data is equally important to businesses or consumers. How business leaders can focus their attention on the data that matters the most in terms of dark data. Whereas Sarang Saxena in January 2018 states that there should be a proper regulation and guidelines of maintaining data and proper assessment of dark data for a business imperative all around the world should be prepared, and few more, a large number of existing studies in the broader literature have examined the other aspects of dark data. These authors bring some information about the background of the problem. So here are the few literature review I have done, which had helped me in writing my paper. So next we have here is need of study. Why do we need to, do the study of dark data? Why is it so important? So in my next slide, I have explained that. I'll just take you to the next slide. So there we have the need of the study. So the purpose of this study is to first of all raise the public knowledge of the idea of dark data, as many of us are not even aware about the term. This study focuses on the unorganized data generated accidentally in company and by the users of the company. According to the IBM, 80% of all data present is dark, 35% of which is relevant, and just 0.5% of which gets evaluated, which is very, very less. Because data also isn't actively saved, a vast amount of information goes undiscovered or unused. Since my focus for this study is on FMCG sector for the research paper, some of the reasons here are mentioned where FMCG companies fail to capitalize on this plethora of dark data. And that includes, firstly, preferences. Teams in sales and marketing have a myopic view of data which only provides instant satisfaction, such as customer transaction. They only concentrate on the sales which are happening recently, but rather than that, they does not concentrate on data related to what a consumer attempted but did not convert into a buy and why he has not converted. Whereas another reason is separation between departments. Often one department has data that another can proactively use, but owing to a lack of collaboration and communication, this wealth of data remains underused and later converts into dark data. Moving on to the research methodology, let me take you to my next slide. The FMCG sector, as we all know, is the fourth largest sector of the Indian economy. Household and personal care products accounts for 50% of the sales in industry, whereas healthcare accounts for 31 to 32%, and the food and beverages accounts for remaining 18% to 9%. The research is being done with the help of secondary data, which is obtained through websites, journals, published papers, magazines, books, etc. The subject isn't much researched and not much data is currently accessible on the study of dark data in the FMCG industry. So I would now like to draw your attention towards the analysis of the study. Let me take you to the another slide of the analysis, which I have analyzed. While embarking on their data-driven journey for insights, retail and FMCG firms should consider the following steps. The first one can be, they should locate sources of data. The core of data analytics is identifying data sources and developing a systematic digitization strategy for this raw data for better analysis in the present and in the future as well. Secondly, they can set priorities for data sources and sets. And then later on, they can even prepare for fresh data. Dark data analytics is a continuous process that generates data indefinitely. As a result, it is critical to design a strategy for data collecting and analysis that leverages digitalization, operational alignment, and appropriate platform. Few more steps are mentioned in my PPT. And along with that, I would like to add, many businesses from numerous sectors have implemented new technologies in recent years to process data and extract insights. Well, this brings me to the end of my presentation. To conclude, let me take you first to my conclusion. Yeah. So I would like to say one of the most fundamental characteristics of major corporations in today's rapidly changing information driven world is how well they understand their market, their customers, their consumers, and their rivals. Organizations are accumulating increasingly large volumes of data, that is big data, as part of the digital age revolution. Therefore, dark data will have a big influence in the future when storing data and leveraging it to its greatest potential will acquire relevance among companies, as there are already telltale signals of businesses adapting to the shift, and legislations along with rules of maintaining data are also being adopted. Proper evaluation of dark data would become a commercial essential all over the globe. We need software that helps searching and retrieving data from such archives simple. We need to educate a new generation of academic output curators who are trained in stable computer technologies and have a passion of science and scientific sociology. So with this, I would like to say thank you all for your attention. I hope you will have gained an insights into the dark data. Thank you for listening. Have a great day ahead. Thank you.
शिवांगी,
Yes, sir.
मुझे बिल्कुल क्रिस्प में समझा दो डेटा आप क्या डार्क डेटा क्या लेना चाह रहे हो डेटा.
I'll tell you in a layman language, so if we call it, dark data is basically a type of data which an organization is, collecting, but 50% of them are not aware about it, whereas rest 50% are aware about it, but still they don't have the sources, they don't have the softwares, and since the data is in such a raw form, they are unable to use it for their benefits. So it's a type of data. Like for example, if I give you an example to understand it better, if you go to a retail store, right, and you are buying something worth of 4,000, okay, you bought it for, you collected everything in your basket, you took to the billing counter, but since you were running out of cash, so you just paid 4,000, whereas you left the stuff worth 1,000 rupees. So what the companies are doing right now, they are just concentrating on those 4,000 that, okay, my customer bought it for 4,000. He's a big customer to me, but he's not concentrating on the rest of the 1,000 rupees stuff, that why he has left it. We should also concentrate that if a person is having a capability to buy 4,000 stuff, why didn't he, bought it for 1,000 more? Why he kept everything in the basket, but why he left at the billing counter? What was the reason behind it? So that 1,000 rupees thing, that is dark data, sir.
तो जैसे आपने एफएमसीजी में पढ़ने की कोशिश की है.
हाँ जी सर.
असेसमेंट कैसे होगी जो आप सपोज आई एम अ रिटेलर.
Yes sir.
मैं इसकी असेसमेंट कैसे करूंगा कि ये डार्क डेटा में जा रहा है या नहीं जा रहा है.
Okay, sir, in this, so first of all, we have to start, we have to go for someone, a proper scientific data officer, you can say. So we have to keep someone who's much knowledgeable in this data concept. Along with that, we have to make sure that not all data is just, we are getting the data, but we are not using it. There has to be someone who's taking care of all the data, whatever is coming, and he should just put it one by one in different log files. Not just, okay, this data is not useful for us, okay, let's leave it, we'll not take it. So it's like that, sir. Yeah.
Last question.
Yes sir.
जो एक टर्म है बिग डेटा.
Yes sir.
उससे आपका डार्क डेटा सबसेट बन रहा है उसका.
Yes sir, it's a subset of dark data, because big data is the whole data, and then out of that, you are using certain percent of data which any retailer, you can say, or any business organization are can easily evaluate it, analyze it, and they are using it for the business purposes, for their benefit. Whereas there are certain amount of data which is, as you said, subset of big data. They are unable to use it, they are unable to evaluate it, they are unable to analyze it.
एक बात बोलिए ना, कुछ टेबल पे ले जाओ. जो आपने वीडियो लिटरेचर की क्रिएट की है.
Definitely sir, I'll take it.
Let's
Yeah,
discuss over this, the 1, 2, 3 part. Next slide please.
okay, just a minute sir. Yeah.
Majority of finding states की यूज नहीं हो रहा.
Yes sir.
वाला पॉइंट, ठीक है.
Yes sir.
नेक्स्ट पे चलना 4, 5, 6 वाले टेबल में.
Yes.
How many research papers you have gone through?
So I have gone through around 10 to 15 research papers for this.
You have mentioned it.
Yeah, 6 I have mentioned. Yes sir.
चलो, the concept is good, but I am more curious to know कि इसको आप measure कैसे करोगे? I mean,
Okay.
if we want to carry it forward as a research topic,
Okay.
what would be the right methodology to go to assess, right? क्योंकि वो primary data में से तो आ नहीं सकती.
Definitely right.
Not
Sir.
every time one has the same reason to leave वो 1000 रुपए वाला सामान.
बिल्कुल.
Small little example, ऐसे 70 example और भी.
Definitely, sir.
And Shivangi, there is a possibility जो तुमने 4000 और 1000 वाला example दिया.
Yes, ma'am.
एक brand एक बार तो 4000 में pick हो गया और एक बार 1000 में रह गया. How to assess it, you know?
Ma'am, honestly speaking, that was just an example, you know, an example, a made of example. Yes, ma'am, just start. Ma'am, I just completed my coursework and this is the first paper I did. Yes, ma'am, just gave my example. Yes,
Just start. See, first of all, the approach of research paper is not what is data. It should be what I am going to do with data. So that's what sir has given in the report.
yes,
Whenever we make a research paper, our approach is what is my research methodology and how I am going to utilize this concept in my research.
noted, ma'am. Definitely, I have noted for both the
Because this is
points.
your first
Yes, sir.
research paper, so good to go with it.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I'd like to invite Simran Mittal, ma'am, who will be presenting on women entrepreneurship in fashion industry. Before starting the paper, I would like to give some instructions. You'll be given 8 minutes for your presentation and 5 minutes before the question answer round. Thank you, ma'am. Welcome. Sure, ma'am. This is the presentation. We have
Can I open my laptop? Can you open my presentation?
What is the title of the PPT?
It is IC conference PPT.
I don't think we have. Can you please reshare it?
Should I send it to Vanessa?
Just a second, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Just send it to GLOBUSS one. Okay.
You can send me a mail ID. I'll just share it with you.
GLOBUSS will be forward it. GLOBUSS 2023. I'll send you the email ID.
Okay.
It's 2023. Technical issues. Pratyansha Singh ma'am will present a paper. The paper title is Analyzing the Impact of Customer Engagement on Customer Retention in the Indian Healthcare Industry. The instructions are same. You'll be given 8 minutes for your presentation and 5 minutes for question answer round. Welcome, ma'am. I think the PPT is already here.
No? Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Pratyansha Singh. I'm the research scholar at Amity College of Commerce and Finance. The topic of my research today is analyzing the impact of customer engagement on customer retention in the Indian healthcare industry. First of all, what is customer engagement? Customer engagement refers to a consumer's interaction with a company or a brand to give a best possible service. With the development of Indian private healthcare industry, the method of providing healthcare services has modified also. Nowadays, patients actively participate in the process of treatment rather than being viewed as a passive reviewer. Due to which the importance of customer engagement has come in a major role in the Indian healthcare industry. Customer engagement has a dual benefit on both the patient and the healthcare service provider. First, the benefit of customer engagement for the customer. First of all, it provides a platform to take an active role in their own healthcare. Second,
makes treatment both economical and time efficient. And for the healthcare service provider, customer engagement provides a way to better understand the patient expectation and provide the service according to them. And second, it helps in boosting patient inflow by offering improved services. Because of all these reasons, there is a need to understand the value of customer engagement in the private healthcare industry. For this research, I have taken two objectives to accomplish this method. First objective is to analyze the relationship between customer engagement and other relationship marketing variables, that is customer commitment, customer satisfaction, customer participation, and eventually customer retention. The second objective of this research paper is to examine the mediating role of customer commitment, customer satisfaction, and customer participation in the relationship between customer engagement and retention. For this research paper, first of all, I have taken the variable of customer engagement. For measuring customer engagement, I have taken five measurements of customer engagement, that is identification, interaction, attention, enthusiasm, and absorption. Apart from customer engagement variable, I have taken four more variables, that is customer retention, customer commitment, customer satisfaction, and customer participation. Customer retention is the efforts made by organization to retain long-term connection with the clients. Customer commitment refers to customer desire or will to sustain long-term relationship with the organization. Customer satisfaction measures customers' overall perception of a brand or an organization, what he thinks about the brand, what he feels about the brand. And last, customer participation reflects customer willingness to share his/her insight. This is the research framework I have made. On the basis of this research framework, I have made a few research hypotheses. The first hypothesis says there's a significant positive relationship between customer engagement and customer retention. Second hypothesis said the customer commitment mediates the relationship between customer engagement and customer retention. The third hypothesis, there is a significant positive relationship between customer engagement and customer commitment. And fourth, there is a significant positive relationship between customer commitment and customer retention. The next hypothesis is customer satisfaction mediates the relationship between customer engagement and customer retention. The next one is there is a significant positive relationship between customer engagement and customer satisfaction. Next one is there is a significant positive relationship between customer satisfaction and retention. The next one is there is a significant positive relationship between customer engagement and customer participation. The last one is there is a significant positive relationship between customer participation and customer retention. For this paper, I have collected data. I made a questionnaire of 27 questions based on the above mentioned variables and distributed to the respondents. The questionnaire is sent to 500 respondents, and from these 500, 330 respondents replied back, and from all these 330 replies, 305 are selected for further analysis. And for the measurement instrument, the questions for the questionnaire was taken from the previous researches, modified according to the current research, and 5-point Likert scale was used for the measurement. Now let's come to the analysis and result part of the research. In the research, all these hypotheses were supported and accepted. The first hypothesis was supported, and according to that, all the hypotheses was accepted. But the last hypothesis, that is customer engagement has a significant positive relationship, was supported, but at 0.05 significant level. And all the above, apart from this hypothesis, all the above hypothesis was accepted at 0.001 acceptance level. I have also conducted the mediation effect test. The first model was the customer commitment has a mediating role in customer commitment has a mediating role in the relationship of customer engagement and customer retention. This model was accepted as a full mediation model. Second model was customer satisfaction has a mediating role in customer engagement and customer retention relationship. This model was accepted as partial mediation relationship. And the last model was customer participation has a customer participation mediates the relationship between customer engagement and customer retention. This was also a partial mediation relationship that is proved in the results. Then so from the above results, we can say that our first objective, that was customer engagement, has a significant positive relationship with other variables, that is customer commitment, customer satisfaction, customer participation, and eventually customer retention is accepted. And the second objective was the role of mediating role of the variables customer commitment, satisfaction, and commitment. So we can say that customer satisfaction and customer participation has a partial mediation role, and customer commitment has a full mediation role in the relationship. On the basis of above results, we can say that healthcare service management must employ the most efficient and up-to-date technique of customer engagement in their system. It is recommended that healthcare executives to place a strategy focus on development and maintenance of value-based relationship based on the emotional ties. Management is advised to improve service quality by giving the patient their undivided attention and care. Management are advised to motivate the consumer to participate in various activities of participation. Sharing their opinions, experiences, suggestions, and queries will helpful for the organization. If we provide a feedback form to the customer and ask their opinion, it will help for the healthcare organization. Nowadays, social media has also played a major role with their blogs, pages, and reviews in the Indian healthcare industry. So we can say that Indian customer engagement is playing a great role in the Indian healthcare industry. That's all. Thank you. Yes, sir.
सही बोला मैंने नाम?
Pratyanja.
आपकी स्टेज पे है पीएचडी की अपनी?
Thesis submission. I'm writing the thesis. This is my second paper. I have sent, waiting for the acceptance, and first paper is published.
Great. प्रत्यंशा, मुझे दो तीन चीजें पूछनी है जो आपने कस्टमर एंगेजमेंट के वेरिएबल्स लिए।
Yes, sir.
उनका क्या बेस है?
I've studied the previous literatures and taken out these variables on the basis of those literatures. No, sir. This was the 5 model dimensions I have taken. No, sir. I have combined the measures. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. CFA, EFA, SEM, and mediation.
बेटा एक बार उस स्लाइड पे जाना जहां पे आपने वो 5 दिखाया है कस्टमर एंगेजमेंट कवर्स व्हाट।
This one?
हां, और एक स्लाइड और ये वाले।
Ma'am, I think this is the right one.
हां, ये
Yes, sir.
तुमने लिए हैं आइडेंटिफिकेशन, इंटरेक्शन, अटेंशन, एंथुसियाज्म, एब्जॉर्प्शन।
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can show that I have the paper in my mobile. I can.
मैम का पूछना ये है कस्टमर एंगेजमेंट।
Yes, sir. This is the one model. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. This is the one model I have taken. All these 5 variables dimensions I have taken for the customer engagement from the one paper. Exact.
तो अब उस मॉडल को आप यहाँ पे एज अ सोर्स बताइए जरूर।
Okay, sir.
ठीक है, इनको भी प्रेजेंटेशन। आई अंडरस्टैंड पेपर में तो तुमने लिखा ही।
Yes, sir.
बट प्रेजेंटेशन में जरूरी है टू अंडरस्टैंड।
Sure, sir.
Right?
Okay.
थोड़ा सा मैं आरएम वाले पार्ट पे पूछूं कुछ क्वेश्चंस।
I will try to answer.
प्लीज आरएम में चलते हैं। 3-4 चीजें हैं बेटा वहां पे, लाइक दी वो जो तुमने 27 क्वेश्चंस बनाए हैं।
Yes, sir.
वो 27 ही क्यों बनाए हैं?
Sir, I can explain to that to you.
जबरदस्ती जस्टिफाई नहीं करना।
No, sir.
ये इसका ऑनेस्ट आंसर है तो कोई ऑनेस्ट आंसर है।
सर बेसिकली हम लोग को रिसर्च में ये बताया गया था कि किसी भी मॉडल को मेजर करने के लिए मिनिमम 3 वेरिएबल्स तो आपके पास होने ही चाहिए। उससे कम होगा तो उस मॉडल को मेजर करना बहुत, मतलब 3 स्टेटमेंट्स तो होने ही चाहिए, नहीं तो उसके नीचे अगर 1 या 2 वेरिएबल्स होंगे तो प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी उसको मेजर करने के लिए। इसलिए मैंने पर वेरिएबल्स 3 5 वेरिएबल्स लिए, उसके 3 मेजरमेंट लिए, सो दैट मींस एंड अदर 4 वेरिएबल्स।
अच्छा, वेरी गुड। और जो 500 का सैंपल लिया उसके पीछे कुछ कैलकुलेशन लगाइए।
Sorry.
500 क्वेश्चन भेजे ना आपने?
Yes, sir.
कुछ स्पेसिफिक रीजन?
No, sir. I just I just go for the data collection and then.
अच्छा, 3-4 चीजें ना थोड़ा सा अपडेट कर दो बेटा.
Okay.
We never use convenience sampling in modern day research.
Okay.
ठीक है? इसको मैं सजेशन बता रहा हूँ.
Yes, sir.
इसको स्मार्टली ना आप पर्पस सैम्पलिंग नेम से रिप्लेस कर दें. बिकॉज़ कन्वीनियंस सैम्पलिंग ब्रीड्स बायस्ड रिजल्ट्स. कन्वीनियंस का मतलब रिसर्चर की कन्वीनियंस. तो आपकी कन्वीनियंस तो ये है ना, यहाँ हम बैठे हैं तो बाहर धूप में नहीं जाना पड़ रहा, तो हमसे क्वेश्चन करना.
Yes, sir.
पर वे वो रिप्रेजेंटिंग द एंटायर पॉपुलेशन.
Yes, sir.
राइट, ये प्राइमरी स्कूल के लोग हैं और उतना ही ओपिनियन है. राइट, दैट्स द फर्स्ट ऑब्जर्वेशन.
Okay.
2, there are various methods to justify your sample size.
Okay.
उसके बारे में आपको थोड़ा सा पढ़ना है कि सैंपल साइज कैसे लिया जाता है. 3-4 अलग-अलग मेथड है. किसी एक मेथड को बेस बना के आप यहाँ पे जस्टिफाई जरूर करें कि 500 हो सकता है कैलकुलेशन से 450 भी हो जाए. एडवांस आगे ले लिया वो कोई बात नहीं. 450 प्लस 50 ले लिया. Then there should be one justification that मैंने सैंपल कैलकुलेशन फाइनाइट इनफाइनाइट बहुत सारे वर्ड्स होंगे जो समझ नहीं आएंगे. सुपरवाइजर के साथ बैठ के आराम से समझना. राइट,
पॉपुलेशन भी डिफाइन है.
एग्जैक्टली, पॉपुलेशन डिफाइन.
ठीक. Thank you.
किस प्लेटफॉर्म पे सैम रन किया?
Amos.
एमओएस पे किया. मीडिएशन क्या दिखाता है? आप मीडिएशन का क्या मतलब समझते हैं?
मीडिएशन बेसिकली जैसे दो एक इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल है, इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल, उनके बीच में एक डायरेक्ट रिलेशनशिप है. इफ वी पुट वन अनदर वेरिएबल इन बिटवीन देम, इफ देयर रिलेशनशिप इज गेटिंग स्ट्रॉन्ग बाय द प्रेजेंस ऑफ दैट थर्ड वेरिएबल, by that mediating variable, then we can say that there is a mediating relationship of this mediating variable between the first independent variable and the dependent variable.
Okay, very good understanding. Moderation understanding.
Sorry?
Moderation भी है?
No, sir, not in this. Not in this.
Very good. Congratulations.
Towards the end of the
Mediation? Yes, sir.
What I understood, whatever research methodology you have taken, the implications are not denoting whatever you have done in terms of research.
Okay.
These implications are very general. Like you have done mediation, full mediation, partial mediation.
Yes, sir.
Mediation क्या होता है तो मैं ये भी पता है. But उस चीज का implication तुमने यहाँ पर नहीं पता है specific. These are very generic implications. So my observation is whenever you are deriving implication from the research, then honor the research and the result of the research. If you are saying full mediation, so what is the implication of it? If you are saying one is showing partial mediation, so what is the difference into it? How it can be used further by the industry? So that will show the commercial implication of the research. So that part is quite weak in your research.
Okay, ma'am. I will keep that in mind. And ma'am, one more thing, in this one slide, I have written very short managerial implications, topic in the research. In the research paper, it's very detailed and point to point. Okay.
डॉक्टर साहब का बिल्कुल सही ऑब्जर्वेशन है. ये वो बातें हैं जो आप बिना रिसर्च के भी कह सकते हो. मैंने कोई पेपर नहीं लिखा, मैं बोलूंगा हेल्थ केयर वालों को बिल्कुल लेटेस्ट टेक्नोलॉजी यूज करनी चाहिए. आजकल कस्टमर वेट नहीं करना चाहता, ये नहीं होता, वो नहीं होता. ये सब थियोरेटिकल बातें हैं. This I can say even I am not going through the research, but तुमने तो उसमें हार्ट एंड सोल डाला है. So your implication should be different from mine. Right?
Okay, sure. Okay, sir, I will keep that in mind.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I would like to invite Simran Mittal, ma'am, to present her paper on women entrepreneurship in fashion industry, a way forward and road ahead. Before starting, here are some instructions. You will be given 8 minutes to present your paper and 5 minutes for the question and answer round. You're welcome, ma'am. This is the one.
Thank you. Should I start? Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Simran Mittal and I'm from MIT University. So today I'll give a presentation on the topic Women Entrepreneurship in Fashion Industry, a way forward and road ahead. So the presentation plan which I'm going to follow for today includes, so first I'll give an introduction about entrepreneurship, then I'll talk about the objectives for my study, and then a little about the fashion industry, giving its background, and then I'll specifically talk about Aina Foundation, which is the case study which I have done through telephonic interview with the founder of the NGO. And then I would summarize my presentation. So firstly, what is entrepreneurship? So as we all know, entrepreneur is like, it is abstracted from the French word entreprendre, which was coined by Richard Cartelen, which mainly means to undertake, and that the individual who undertake the risk and responsibility of setting up the business. So entrepreneurship is something which is developed over a period of time. It is the initiative taking attitude, the required skills for innovation, and always looking for high achievements to be successful in a business. So entrepreneurship, in short, is defined as a process of systematic innovation that requires changes, search purposefully and in an organized manner, and is the series of actions which are taken by the entrepreneur to establish the enterprise. So moving forward, the objectives for my study. So as we all know, women entrepreneurship is something which is very important source of economic growth for our country. And it is equally important for the women to uplift their status in the society. So it is the best way to kind of elevate poverty, and thus arises the need for awareness in the women entrepreneurship topic further. So involvement of various women in various businesses and entrepreneurial activities would lead to effective utilization of resources, that is land, labor, capital, and enterprise. So initially, what we all know is that women were expected to do household chores more, and that more than that of business activities. But now the scenario is changing, and there is increase in generation of income, and hence there is improved standard of living in the society, irrespective of gender. So for development of the society, there arises a need that all the section of women should participate fully to contribute towards the national income of the economy, and thus, which in turn will ensure that active participation of the women in entrepreneurial activities will help them to be financially independent, and will also make them confident to take their own decisions. And the role of women will be given the utmost respect and importance, which is possible only through increased awareness about women entrepreneurship. Thus, I have conducted study in the topic. Moving towards the background of fashion industry. So fashion industry is something which is operating in a very highly competitive market dominant environment by the presence of various global brands. So in recent times, despite the deep financial crisis of the last decade, the fashion industry has attained fast growth and has experienced vast transformations. So according to the market analysis provided by some of the international consultancy companies, McKinsey, Deloitte Group, these fashion companies today are operating in a very dynamic and competitive environment, dominated by sudden changes and increase in uncertainty in the environment. So the fashion industry ranks among the high growth sector of the economy, and it is labeled as a priority sector for trade development and promotion. So moving on towards my case discussion. So the name of the NGO which I have selected is Aina Foundation, and the founder is Mrs. Aanchal Bakshi Sehgal. So this was all a telephonic interview, and what I have included in my presentation is entirely based on primary data collected from her. So a little introduction about the entrepreneur. So she's Mrs. Aanchal Bakshi Sehgal, and she's 33 years old, and she's like currently residing in Kanpur, and she completed her education from Convent of Jesus and Mary, Ambala. So she came back home to her hometown, Ambala, in 2010 after pursuing her master's from the University of Manchester, and in 2013 she registered Aina Foundation. So she has also worked with Red Chillies Entertainment Mumbai,
And some of her hobbies include reading, painting, and of course, social work. That's the objective of setting up the NGO. So the purpose of establishment for setting up this NGO was that Aina Foundation aims to provide vocational training, medical aid, scholarship programs, animal welfare uh, to many of the people. So they also have like 16 girls adopted under the NGO, and their education is looked after, keeping in mind the amazing mental capability, but there is lack of funds in the NGO. So the foundation provides a food street for dogs and cats and a shelter for cows. So even a gaushala is in pipeline. So they try and be as self-reliant as they can be and promote handicrafts and made in India products as the members of the Aina Foundation. So moreover, they manufactures embroidered bags, crochet bags, belts, which is their source of income. So exhibitions are held for selling these products in Delhi NCR region and in Gurgaon, in Kanpur, Ambala, and Chandigarh also. So the motivation for her to set up the NGO was that her desire was to work in a team and in a pleasant environment and try to help the needy in every possible way. So the major factors which have like influenced her to start up the NGO of her own are to achieve a social mission, professional self-realization, like the acquisition of new skills, knowledge, and experience. So she says that 8 years and 2 children later, it still stays a passion project for me. So like she's married now and she's having 2 children and she manages the work of NGO along with taking care of the household duties. So Mrs. Achal Bakshi Sehgal aspired to continue her passion project and not to confine herself to the household chores, marriage and children. So she willingly wanted to take the challenges of setting up a business of her own and taking the risk of balancing her both professional and personal life. Then moving on to the list of activities which are undertaken by Aina Foundation. So as I already mentioned, they provide vocational training so that the students who are interested to and passionate to learn more about fashion, they can enroll themselves with the NGO. And the course at the foundation encompasses pattern cutting, designing, textiles, digital skills, and other aspects of fashion industry, which will be beneficial for them in future if they are looking for their career in fashion industry. Then Aina Foundation holds exhibitions of the products made by the people taking vocational training under the NGO. And they also provide medical aid to the people with the aim of helping the society. So scholarship programs and animal welfare are the services which are provided by the foundation. And at Aina, they manufacture belts, bags, so that they can have a source of income also. And Aina Foundation believes in eco-friendly environment and like they says no to plastic. So it's all sustainable biodegradable environment and the material which is used in manufacturing the bags. So at the foundation, 16 girls are adopted by the NGO and their education is looked after keeping in mind the amazing mental capability. Then moving on to their model of functioning. So, yeah, sure. So model of functioning, she's passionate with her desire to like design jewelry and crochet bags. So the major funding, like source of funding is by organizing the exhibitions, and they have their trustees as CSA, Malik Traders, Auto World, Ambala. So moving on to the challenges faced by Mrs. Achal Bakshi Sehgal. So these are like some of the challenges which we see that every woman entrepreneur faces after like setting up their businesses. So cost of procuring the raw materials. So as we all know that the cost of procuring raw materials is one of the biggest challenge for any entrepreneur irrespective of the gender. So the cost is needed not only to grow and transform and to treat the raw materials, but also like after setting up the business, you need to buy raw materials. Then there is this transportation cost that we all know that every entrepreneur in the fashion industry need the time and ability to keep their logistics from check to time. Then lack of financial support, as we all know, setting up a business need funds. So irrespective of the gender, there is this lack of financial support. And one thing in common which we see is the conflict between work and household duties for every woman entrepreneur. So mostly women are expected to do like household work and activities. So they always have to strike a balance between work and household duties, and which they face difficulty in. So now I would like to conclude my presentation by showing some of the products which are offered by Aina Foundation. So these are the crochet bags, and they also make belts and design jewelries. So thank you everyone for your patient listening.
Very good, very good, Simran. First of all, our congratulations to her. We should clap for her. The youngest presenter and first time presenter, and such good work you have done as a part of your project. That's really commendable.
Thank you.
So to continue the same. Very good. So very nice. रिसर्च का तो तुम्हारा अभी यहाँ पे अभी कोई फोटो या एंगल था नहीं, but we like is your honesty that you have put into the work. That's what ma'am was also discussing with me and doctor कि तुमने sincerely किया है ना, people do it for the heck of doing it, check करना है, so you should keep it up. Very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice. Very good.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I'd like to invite Nidhi Agrawal, ma'am, who will present her paper on does fake e-word of mouth on social media has the ability to affect the consumer's purchase intention. Ma'am, you can unmute yourself and you can also turn on your camera.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm not able to share my screen because.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Now my screen is visible.
Am I audible? Would you like me to share your PPT? Or will you be sharing it?
Ma'am, I'm trying, but I'm not able to share it. Ma'am, can you please share from your end?
I don't have it. 75. This one.
I don't know why I'm not able to share it.
So Nidhi, we are doing it for you. It is just going to take a minute.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Slideshow is not working. Sharing. Just
Slide share screen window share screen.
Okay.
Now slideshow.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for sharing it.
You can start, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. A very good afternoon to one and all present here. I am Nidhi Agarwal, Assistant Professor in Keshav Mahavidyalaya, University of Delhi, presenting a paper on the topic, does fake e-worm on social media has the ability to affect the consumer purchase intention? So before we understand what is fake e-worm, we first understand what is e-worm. The term electronic word of mouth or e-worm has been used to denote online reviews, which may be negative or positive statement made by actual or former customers about a product or company, which is made available to a multitude of people and institutions via the internet on various communication channels. As per the recent market surveys, over 90% of consumers check online reviews before they make their own purchasing decision. Consumers rely more likely on online reviews, and it has a considerable impact on their purchase intention. As e-commerce grows, so does the prevalence of fake online reviews or fake reviews, or now we can say fake e-worm has been increasing. It is estimated that prevalence of fake e-worm varies from 16% to more than 50% depending upon the category and the website. Thus, it is essential for the managers to monitor fake e-worm so that they can understand the strengths and shortcomings of their products and services. However, many unscrupulous marketers and managers opt for deception, that is artificially inflating the favorability of their products or services with positive fake e-worm, or attempting to damage the reputation of competitors with artificial negative fake e-worm. Research shows that fake e-worm compared with genuine e-worm tend to be more influential and complex in structure.
Sorry for the interruption, ma'am.
Hanji, ma'am.
Please turn on your camera.
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Visible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Also, whenever you need to change the slide, you can let me know.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much for the assistance, ma'am. So I was saying research shows that fake e-worm compared with a genuine e-worm tend to be more influential and complex in nature, impressing upon the need to rigorously exploring them. Before I proceed further, we must look at fake e-worm from the lens of certain dimensions like skepticism, consumer purchase intention, trustworthiness, and persuasion knowledge. So skepticism is adapted from the advertising skepticism defined as the suspicious attitude towards the e-worm in general. This reflects the negative perception of the internet users towards the credibility of the entire communication environment, instead of perception towards any specific e-worm communication. Now the question arises, what leads to skepticism? So for this, we have to understand another concept of persuasion knowledge. Persuasion knowledge defined as folk knowledge about persuasion intentions, which is to aid consumers to better distinguish between the fake reviews and the genuine reviews. Recent studies have shown that persuasion knowledge activation does not always lead to more skepticism and resistance to persuasion attempts, as many past studies have claimed. Rather, they have shown that higher level of persuasion knowledge have helped the consumers to distinguish between fake worm and the genuine e-worm. Consumers who acquire persuasion knowledge punish the fake e-worm, but not the genuine e-worm. Now the question arises whether the consumers have persuasion knowledge or not. So it depends upon how able the consumers are able to distinguish between fake e-worm and genuine e-worm. And this ability is further going to affect the trustworthiness and purchase intention of consumers. From a recent study, it is found that consumer level of trust in online reviews ranges from 76% to 84%, which is significantly more than in any commercial or traditional sources such as advertising. Research shows that trusting beliefs have a significant impact on online purchase intention. Since the prevalence of fake e-worm is on rise, if consumers have not acquired the persuasion knowledge, they are tend to make an inferior decision, which is actually impacting their purchase decision. So moving towards
Yes.
to the literature review first. To alleviate this problem, the need is called
Nidhi,
for
we have got the basic understanding
okay,
of
sir.
the term. If you can carry forward with your slides, please.
Hanji, sir. So
Uh, we,
please
we,
move to the literature review.
yes, literature review is what we are more interested in.
Yes, sir. So, ma'am, please move to the literature review. So as all of you can see, a table containing the most cited papers in the literature review have been presented here. In the past, research on many aspects of fake e-worm has been conducted by many authors. So I have clubbed the basic themes from the most cited 10 papers, and I'll be presenting you the topics or the areas where they have done the research on fake e-worm. So the area which they have researched, number one is, what is the reason to post fake e-worm? So they have tried to inculcate the idea, to try to give the idea that what is the reason why that the people post fake e-worm. So gaining an insight whether the consumer have persuasion knowledge or not. Second, research on certain factors or the cues or the communication style that leads the consumer to detect fake EWOM has been conducted. Next, comparative study has also been conducted between the humans and the machines to check whether the machines are more efficient than the humans in detecting the fake EWOM or not. And lastly, effect of adding positive reviews and deleting the simultaneously deleting the negative reviews on sales and brand management. Then next, so coming to the methodology, to do this structured literature review, Prisma framework is used. The articles were selected from the Scopus database and a total of 810 articles were found. After screening of literature, 26 articles were selected for the study. After deleting all the duplications, which were 10 articles, and after removing the irrelevant articles, which were 724 articles, we were left with 76 articles. And from there, on the basis of non-accessibility and irrelevant articles, when they were removed, so we were finally left with 26 articles. So I have conducted a study of these 26 articles in my study. So the further, ma'am, can you please go to the result slides? The following results were found. As you can see from the, ma'am, the first one, the earlier one, the earlier, ma'am, earlier slide. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So if you can see from the slide that in the first diagram we have co-occurrence of keyword analysis, which shows that the most occurred word which was used in the studies online review, which has been most followed by the fake reviews and the persuasion knowledge. Second image shows that the most observed country, the country which is having most study on this particular topic is US. Then third slide, ma'am. Next slide, ma'am. In the next slide, it shows the graph shows the number of documents per year which has been published on the Scopus database on this particular theme, that is fake reviews, not the fake EWOM. The fake EWOM I've just included in my study. And then the last diagram shows the co-authorship, and it is observed that the 9 co-authors from those 26 articles have been working together from various countries. So I would like to conclude my study here from these results that it has been observed that much research has been conducted in this area, but there are certain areas which we still explore on which the fake EWOM has an impact. Number one is a very interesting avenue for the future study can be the study of fake EWOM on FMCG industry or the food industry or the education industry, because from my literature review, I have found that mostly the studies have been conducted on hotel industry and the tourism industry. The next research can be done on visual fake EWOM, because mostly studies have been conducted on textual fake EWOM. Visual fake EWOM has not been considered yet by any study. Future research can also be done on how to distinguish linguistic characteristic between fake EWOM and genuine EWOM. Then how to develop persuasion knowledge among the adolescents to safeguard them from the fake EWOM can be another research area. Research can also be done on the impact of scoring or number of stars that a review receives on consumer purchase intention. Another area for research can be impact of review recency on fake reviews. Next area is influence of situational constraint on review of fake reviews. And lastly, influence of emotion, exclamation marks, capital letters on consumer purchase intention can be analyzed in future. So with this, I would like to conclude my presentation. Thank you so much for the patient listening, ma'am and sir.
Nidhi, this is really good work that you have done. I want to ask 2 questions. एक तो जो आपने आरएम में you have shown कि आपने किस बेसिस पे डाटा कलेक्ट किया है. हाँ, please on to this आरएम पे. You have excluded because of non-accessibility 23 articles.
Yes, sir. So actually, I have taken the articles which were non-accessible also. So I missed that part actually. I have included all the articles which were there in the category of gold, open access and everything. So I was not able to access those articles.
What understanding I could develop is you dropped 23 because you could not open them.
Yes, sir, because I don't have the access to open them.
अच्छा, फिर doesn't that put a big question mark कि 23 important studies छूट गई?
Approximately the half.
Yes, sir.
है ना?
It is.
Obviously, we all are with the limited resources available, and I'm sure you might have tried.
Yes, sir,
though not on this platform, we should not talk of, but there are some proxy sites that can open the papers. Those are gold open access or nahi bhi ho. But then also, second also, ये आपने conclusion में बोला है fake reviews, और आप अपने टाइटल में लेके चल रहे हो fake word of mouth. ये सेम टर्म है या अलग अलग टर्म है? I mean, does any research says कि ये दोनों सेम टर्म है?
Sir, a research by Munzel is there where he has concluded, or Henning Farao is there. I've also given the reference of those in the first slide. It's also that EWOM is nothing but the online reviews. तो ऑनलाइन रिव्यूज का ही सब्स्टिट्यूट हमने वॉर्म लिखा है, तो फेक रिव्यूज को फेक ईवॉर्म भी कहा जा सकता है एज पर माय स्टडी. दिस इज माय अंडरस्टैंडिंग. तो फेक रिव्यूज
That's your understanding. Is this understanding has been drawn through review या general? मतलब रिव्यू से तुम्हें ऐसा लगने लग गया या तुम्हारे मन में कहा तो तुमने मान लिया?
No, sir, I have also found one paper also where fake EWOM has been written.
ठीक है. That's what I was interested in.
Yes, sir.
Over to you,
One
sir.
paper is...
Okay.
Hi, Nidhi. Hi, Nidhi. I'm Dr. Jain. Nidhi, I have few observation because your supervisor is sitting with me, so I can't talk more. The first thing is that I am not able to find the objectives in your book, in your research paper. There are no research questions, there are no research objectives. So that's one observation. And the second observation is that you have conducted your SLR based upon only 26 papers. So don't you think it is a very less number?
Yes, ma'am, it is very less number because I've only taken the Scopus database, first of all. And since the terms were very limited, which I have not written it here because constraints were too limited into 10 slides only. So 810 I was founding it, and by reading the abstract, I have excluded 724 articles from there. So whatever I was left with, so 23 because of non-accessibility, I have to drop them because I was not able to access those papers. So that is the problem. So I still believe that yes, as SLR for SLR, it is a very good
yes, that's my problem. You started with 800 and you ended up with only 27.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So I think you need to understand your topic better. So probably the keywords which you have put were not matching with the kind of research you want to conduct, or there seems to be a problem to me. The rest you can discuss with your supervisor. Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
I just want to ask you one thing. What database have you used?
Ma'am, Scopus database.
Okay. So then in that case, you could have perhaps used some other database also, so that, you know, your total number of papers could have been more. And like ma'am said, that maybe if you would like to work on this topic further, then you can broaden the keyword search, so that you are able to, you know, narrow down to more number of papers, because doing an SLR with such less number of papers actually does not give very validating results.
Yes, ma'am. I definitely look towards your suggestions.
You can probably improve upon this paper, you know, by including another database.
Yes, ma'am. I will definitely try, ma'am. Definitely try.
Thank you.
Thank you,
so much,
Nidhi.
ma'am. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for your inputs.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I'd like to invite Dr. Gaurav Sood, who will be presenting his paper on a novel study to determine fake news quotient, perceptions based on business undergraduate students in India and UK. Some instructions before starting. The author will be given 10 minutes to present the paper and 5 minutes for the question and answer round. We welcome you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now I'd like to invite our internal session chair and our convener, Dr. Gaurav Sood, to thank Dr. Chand Saini in the form of certificates. Thank you so much, sir, for your Thank you so much, sir, for your time and providing us with your valuable inputs. Now, I would like to invite the entire session chair to present the participants with a certificate. First, I would like to invite Dr. Gaurav Sood.
Ma'am, session chairs, all the session chairs.
Shivangi Priya.
Thank you.
Manita ma'am.
सिमरन का अलग से है।
Simran Mittal ma'am. Thank you so much everyone for your time. Now we can proceed for lunch. Thank you again. GLOBUSS 2023 conference. As our session chair, we have Dr. Sandeep Kumar Gupta, who is an assistant professor and assistant dean student affairs at Shiv Nadar University, Delhi NCR. He is a researcher in the area of sustainability management and resource economics. He has published several research papers in leading journals such as Journal of Cleaner Production, Computers and Industrial Engineering, Renewable and Sustainable Energy Review, International Journal of Quality and Reliability Management, Total Quality Management, Business Excellence, and several others. He is also on the review board of many such leading journals. We have Dr. Pratibha Garg and Dr. Neha Gupta as the internal session chair. Starting off, I would like to invite Kokila ma'am to present a paper on determinants for adoption of mobile health application, a machine learning approach. Before starting, I would like to give some instructions. You will have 10 minutes to present your paper, ma'am, and 5 minutes will be given for the question and answer round. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I would like to invite Vijay Joshi, sir, who will be presenting his paper on technological advancements driving the bank insurance industry in India amidst developments in industry 4.0. The instructions remain same. You'll be allotted 10 minutes for your presentation and 5 minutes for the question answer round. You can unmute yourself, sir, and turn on your camera.
Hello. 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 Am I audible? Please respond.
Sir, you're not audible.
Hello.
Sir is audible to me.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. Shall I start?
If you're presenting, please turn on your audio.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir, you're audible now.
Okay. 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 My PPT is visible to all. It is already presented. Okay. So before I start, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Dr. Vijay Joshi, Assistant Professor at Nagpur, Dr. Ambedkar Institute of Management Studies and Research, the first author for the paper, Technological Advancement Driving the Bancassurance Industry amongst the Developing Industry 4.0 scenario. Now, as we all know, that the process of bancassurance, it was started way back in 2000, and the insurance agency called as IRDA, they come up with the regulations on the registrations of Indian companies. Government of India has also issued a notification that is specifying that insurance can be permissible form, the form of business. That means insurance can be a form of business that could be undertaken by the banks under the section 610 of Banking Regulation Act 1949. Now, here we are, as an author, wanted to expose one thing which is very important, but in a very simpler manner, so that a layman can also understand the importance of the bank insurance, and they can involve, that is, the layman can also involve themselves for having a business in bank assurance sector. So what we say that bank assurance means selling insurance product through banks. In a very simple, we can call it as
Sorry for interrupting, sir.
Pardon?
Sorry for the interruption.
Okay.
We cannot see your slides moving. It's fixed on the first slide.
You know, I will move it. I just give you the introduction or the basic introduction of the topic.
Okay, sorry, sir. Please continue.
That's why. Now, so the companies come up in a partnership. The companies come up with a partnership wherein the bank sells the tied insurance company's insurance product to their clients. Now, insurance industry, they create a distribution marketing structure within the bank, within that banking organization, using the database of the bank to increase the most important area, that is profitability. Now, let us see how. See, these are few literature reviews which works in the area and have a great relevance with our topic. Now, the methodology, our paper reviews mainly the published of the secondary data using information from the sources such as IRDA, also RBI, and the relevant peer-reviewed papers or the journals. Paper also elaborate on its scopes and challenges for bank insurance in a socio-cultural diverse country like India. Next. Now, the benefits to the beneficiaries. Talking about this, that the beneficiaries and the bank insurance, they can use the technology to offer a wide range of financial products and services in a more integrated way. Also helps to increase the employee productivity. And while doing so, it can form this strong bond between the reliability and the security between the bank and the customers, which can further help in establishing the strong foundation for the insurance products like the bank insurance in this present scenario. Now, as per Dr. Pallavi's and the Rai's paper, which was published in 2022, customers, next slide, customers prefer bank insurance because they have a relationship and a trust with the bank, particularly the local branch. Now, here one must take care of the few disadvantages which I want to highlight, as the more major disadvantage of the bank assurance is different mechanisms are required for the promotion and distributions of the insurance products, and also the improper data management like protection.
Sorry for the interruption.
Pardon? Yes. Hello.
Come to your objectives, please.
Pardon? You're not audible.
So,
yes.
Since we have a time bound.
Okay. So you want me to come to the conclusion, because there are few important things which I want to highlight.
So please come to the objectives.
Okay. Then this first slide, that is, I will come to the conclusion slide. No issue. Now, bank insurance emphasis on the long-term customer relationships with the bank, promoting and disseminating the risk products through banks is a much cheaper task for insurance companies than the agencies. Bank insurance success depends on the banks ensuring the effective interaction with their customers. And the low utilization of highly mechanized and automated banking channels, such as internet banking, ATMs, can be seen as a driving force for this bank assurance growth. And the major thing which we find here is that this particular bank assurance area has proved to be the omni, we can call it as the channel, specifically, or the omni-channel experiences. It means a multi-channel approach to sales that seeks to provide customers with a seamless shopping experience, as we experience in case of Amazon or brick and mortar model of stores, specifically where there is app-based options are also available. Now, the purpose of working on this particular topic is none other than to make the mass aware about the importance of bank insurance in today's fast growing country like India. So looking into the time constraints, and as there was a disturbance for presentation, so this is from my end, sir. Ma'am.
Hi, Dr. Vijay.
Yes.
I think it's very relevant to study in the present time when the take-up of insurance is very low, as we know, right? So, I mean, very specifically, what kinds of challenges we can address through the use of technology, whether it is more uptake of insurance or to cut down the time of processing of insurance.
Specifically to cut down the time of the insurer, that is the main objective. But at the same time, to grow that confidence in the people regarding the performance of insurance. And since we have included bank, which is a highly trusted area as far as this customers' confidence is concerned, so in that case, so that is why if we attach that bank with that insurance agency, that create a more confidence. And second thing is that will be profitable or win-win situation for both.
Yeah, that is definitely sort of well adopted concept taken by industry very, very well. Like all these banks, private banks, they have a tie-up with insurance companies, right? So
yeah,
that is,
yeah.
That is
And specifically post what we call it as post-COVID scenario, you will find that when the banks, they were in some other problem, they were facing some other problems. So in that particular case, the profitability of the banks is one of the area, because this is nothing but we can call it the only financial sector which has inclusive, when we talk about the inclusive growth of a country in economy.
I'm not sure whether you're checking also whether the claim process, right? When we go for claim of insurance,
Sir, that particular aspect is a sole responsibility of the insurance company, because IRDA, it is very well mentioned in the series of the IRDA, we can call it as the rules and the regulations. The only thing which we want here is to take a confidence, the customers or the consumers into confidence. And since banking sector is found to be the most trusted area for the consumers to rely upon or trust upon.
Just last query from my side. I mean, what are the technologies we're looking for? I mean, which particular technology you are considering in your study, your research study? I mean,
so specifically all digital, majorly digital technology we talk about.
All KYC.
Okay, yes.
Okay, fine. That's all from my side. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Nice study.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Now I would like to invite Pushparaj Kulkarni, sir, to present his paper on digital payment driving India's economic progress. So the instructions are, you will be given 10 minutes to present your paper and 5 minutes will be allotted for the question and answer round.
Okay, madam.
Welcome you, sir.
I'm audible. So good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. Pushparaj Kulkarni, and the paper that we are presenting.
Sir, you're audible now, sir.
I'm audible now?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah, thank you. Let us come to this today's paper, which we are going to present. I, along with my three co-author, namely Dr. Vivek Pimpapure, Dr. Sukanta Kumar Baral, and Prashant Patil. I am presenting this particular paper called Digital Payments Driving India's Economic Progress. As we all know, basically any country in terms of development, when they look for, they need growth which can drive them to the better pace. Especially when the growths are taken through digital modes, we observe that the growths are found to be satisfactory, or rather it is going to make the sense very common. Let us come to the introduction part. As far as the basic things are concerned, the digital payment have experienced an unprecedented growth over the past 3 years in India. Rather, this phase started mostly post demonetization, when country has demonetized certain currencies, and then people have shifted themselves to the digital payment modes. Because of this, we can see that very transactions are possible, including the last mile deliveries, or even on a recent phase, we have seen that e-rupee, that is a cashless and contactless digital payment mode that is introduced by the government in the last budget. The resources which have been built to robust the ecosystem for the digital money economy, because ultimately when we look for the growth, or we need to see that when economy is growing, you need a pace, and a pace through physical mode, it's quite difficult. And it's very interesting part to see that there's a 100% rise in the micro ATM and UPI QR code in the last 2021 year. Moving ahead with the government policies to encourage the digital payments. So the government has come up with this concept called PIN, that is chip-based card alongside PIN.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Your slide is not moving.
Not visible.
Yes, it's not moving. It's on first slide.
I just shift to second slide. I guess that's network issue probably. That might take some time to display on your end probably. I don't know.
See slideshow mode. Please keep it on slideshow.
I am on the slideshow mode. Just a minute. I will confirm it again. Now, is it visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible now.
Yeah.
Just put it on the slideshow mode.
Actually, I'm on the slideshow mode, madam. I don't know what happened exactly. I put the presentation on slideshow mode. I can see it on a slideshow mode. Let's continue with that. The other government policies to encourage the digital payments, which charges which for NEFT and RTGST have been removed. And even the public and government authorities are additionally expanded its emphasis specifically to less money society. Just look at the overall global scenario about the digital payment. We can see here specifically with respect to Asia Pacific countries, like here, the growth rate is tremendous in terms of year on year, which is 16%, and any other continent in terms of like Middle East or Latin America or North America, the highest growth was in the Asia Pacific countries. And if you just look at for the 4-year forecasted growth, which is expected to be at 27%. So we can see how far the digital payments have make the things what we can say change over the past few years. If you look at for the India's digital payment scenario, it is seen that the retail and credit transfer contributes almost 80% of the transactions. Whereas we can see the latter stages where the prepaid instruments are also contributing 9% to the particular digital payment. And if you just focused on the mobile wallets, or we can say mobile app, then these are the contribution by the specific like companies like PhonePe, Google Pay, Paytm, Amazon. They have their shares in terms of number of transactions which they are executing on basis of March 2022 rather. The deterrent to the digital payments are intensifying the competition is one of the biggest challenge right now, because whenever we look for any particular system, you may find some sort of deterrents or some sort of challenges exist. So broadly speaking, there are 3 challenges presently we have identified, that is intensifying competition, technological uncertainties, and regulatory complexes. As we all know, because it's a digital mode, we need to rely more on a technology. So naturally, technology upgradation makes the things quite unfeasible to the many time to the particular players to operate, and it needs a considerable changes also. Beside this, in the regulatory compliances or complexity, we can see there is a global accreditation is also essential, which is sometimes lagging in terms of digital payment. And the compliances challenges non-intrusive security in context of open bank mandate is going to be maybe hindrance in terms of making digital payments. So this is basic identified deterrents in terms of digital payments. We're just going with the recent trends in digital payment, which is existingly we have like in terms of COVID, we are using cards, bank accounts, wallet, message apps, or post-COVID, we could have specifically contactless payment methods. But upcoming and new methods we are identified as the conventional commerce and in-car payments, API-based payments, open banking into in-store payments, and even immediate payments are observed to be the recent trends in digital payment. These are the very key initiatives which government has taken in the recently, that is e-rupee program, e-vouchers, quick response codes, and SMS string based QR codes. Coming to the conclusions part, if you just look at when we look digital payment in a driving force for the Indian economy, the basic point that here we are going to see is minimizing the risk arising from making payment in conventional way. Because if you do the transaction more in the cash, n number of costs may associated with that, especially when you go with the cash-based model, you need to have a carrying cost of the cash, and other security perspectives may come into picture, which makes the transaction little bit costly. When we go with the contactless or the digital mode, it means relatively safer. Enabling the ecosystem and focus on infrastructure is also one of the best thing. And it provide an enhanced experience to the customer, because when the online shopping scenario started, we were more relying on the cash on delivery, but now we have more engrossed toward the new area called digital payment, where we can make a payment and then get a delivery. So that is the observed things in the last few years. Putting in place forward-looking regulatory mechanism is also essential, and empowering payment system operates and service providers, and encourage the support risk-focused supervision is one of the basic things we need to identify as a key conclusion with respect to making digital payment as one of the driving factors with respect to any economic growth. These are the few cited references I have used with respect to this particular paper. These are the cited references. That's all from my side. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes.
Hello.
So you're audible.
Yeah. I through with my presentation, madam.
Yes. Hello, sir. It's nice presentation. I just want to know what is your objective?
Can you just come again?
What is your objective of this study?
Specific objective of this particular research paper was to identify whether the digital payments are like having any trends in terms of your particular growth. Secondly, we are looking at the objective that our digital payments are making user friendly or not. Basically, when we started initial with this particular payment system, there was a question with respect to user friendliness was exist, but that was the objective whether the using like these digital payment systems are making the things smoother or easier or not. So this is a basic objective we have taken for making this research. Sorry. No, madam. It was basically data which have used is specifically published data by the RBIs and other regulatories which have provided. We have used the PwC reports also. So the data is mostly secondary data we have used to just make it. We don't have any research question pattern research was there. It was exploring the things whether the things are working, and we are using the secondary data sets to address our issues.
In continuation, Pushraj, if I ask you, I mean, what are the data points? Can you please just talk about maybe a couple of data points which you captured? This nature of the data, just.
Sir, you are asking me about the data which I picked for this research, right? The basic data which I specifically use with respect to the RBI, which I published the data about the digital payments. The data there in their regular bulletin, they are publishing that what kind of trends we have seen in terms of usage of digital payment using the RBI statistics database. And secondly, I use the data specifically of PwC. Which is giving the report on the that information sectors and all those sectors. So from PwC sectoral report, I have taken certain data which were addressing the things that how the usage have changed in the past couple of years with respect to digital payments.
Okay, so you have done sectoral study also. I mean, which sectors particularly has picked very well as far as digitalization is concerned?
You are asking me about the sectors.
Yeah.
No, specifically when we are referring the sector which is digital payment, it is banking digital payment part we have just addressed in that particular data. That is what is the specific trends I have been seen, because I have just quoted the data which is the graphs and other things, that is data which are generated with the help of the RBI statistics, which has published on their bulletins every quarterly about the sectoral outlook. From there, I have taken those data, and then I have realized that the growth that has seen and the projected growth which RBI has given for the year-on-year basis for the 2023 was high in terms of Asia Pacific countries, which initiate that the India and other countries are taking the steps towards usage of the digital payment. Because even nowadays, we can see on an average maximum payments are through your QR code. Previously, people don't used to make the payment and even have a problem of that loose coins. That has been resolved due to this. That is the one issue, but still major concern in the digital payment that we have observed that if the products are having a lesser margins or the small margin products, the merchants relying less on the digital payment, because if more transaction they will show, and if the cost is high, because even RBI has taken some initiative to reduce the transaction cost also. But there are certain areas where we'll see that there is some reluctance from the merchants for using the digital payment, because they have to bear additional cost which reduce their margin. So that is presently the challenge that observed in most of the cases with respect to digital payments.
So that's the point of advice here, maybe in your paper you can talk about what are the real challenges in terms of adoption of this digital payment system. Maybe some sort of primary survey where you can collect some data and talk about the challenges.
Yeah, probably that might be
impactful. Just advice.
Probably that is a research gap we kept open probably. Madam, yeah, you are not audible.
Am I audible now?
Yes, madam.
So have you studied methods of digital payment, like which methods, which channels, which platforms are more effective for this?
See, specifically the data that we have gathered, madam. There are a number of ways we can make a digital payment. We can make a payment to credit cards also, debit card also, UPIs also. Nowadays we have IMPS is one of the other alternative way. NEFT, RTGS are there. So multiple ways through which we can make a digital payment. Digital payment exists previously also. That was not an issue. But the convenience of using a digital payment was the key issue, because ultimately previously I was having a net banking, but my father was not having a net banking. He was not using, but today he is using the phone pay and all those apps. So that is a particularly we are looking as a growth channel. Like these digital payments are driving it. Now my father doesn't rely on me to make any payment. He make a payment from his phone also. So we are actually trying to focus on those issues, that whether digital payments are giving any specific scope for the country to move faster, because cashless economy definitely makes the things smoother, whereas the cash economy have some hindrance because it has a carrying cost and all those perspective, and also safety and all those perspective. No, I'm not getting you. I'm not getting you.
I mean to say drivers for digital payment, like digital payment nowadays has increased, especially after the with new apps like Google Pay, app, and Paytm. Earlier, like you said, earlier net banking was there, but many people were not aware or not
User friendly.
User friendly. But now it is everyone, even Rickshaw-wala and all, everyone is using, because these are user friendly, right? So, have you studied drivers for adoption of?
No, madam, that's what I said. We are not actually having a primary database research. The research what we have done is with respect to only the published data, and we just identifying that whether exploring that whether things are changing or not. We're not taking any specific research question with respect to is this method is having more effectiveness or that. That was not our research specific question.
You can do further study on drivers and barriers for digital payment.
Yes, probably. Yeah, that is a you have given one more research area for that to study. Yeah.
As well as motivated strategies for promoting business.
Okay, madam.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you, madam.
Now I would like to invite Shrishti Batra ma'am, who will be presenting a paper on a systematic review to study the factors affecting low female representation at top level in corporate sector from the year 2000 to 2022. Ma'am, you have been allotted 10 minutes for your presentation and 5 minutes for the question and answer round. Will you be sharing your PPT?
Right. I'm sharing.
Okay, ma'am.
Very good afternoon to all of you. I'll be quickly going through the slides. So my topic is, I hope the PPT is visible to all of you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So the topic is a systematic review to study the factors affecting low female representation at top level in corporate sector. So first of all, I'll start with the introductory part. Women are actually underrepresented in top management positions wherever you see. And interestingly, it is not just in India, as we think the case might be. Everywhere in the world, in most of the developed countries as well, the position is quite the same, might differ a bit, but yes. And gender discrimination is still present in the labor market in general, and specifically in the upper levels of organization. So women generally enter the organization at entry level positions, but later, because of so many factors, and the factors are what I have undertaken in the study, and because of so many factors, they do not lead to move towards the middle or top level management. Despite so many efforts the organizations are putting in for bringing down this gender disparity, I won't say that there are no efforts being done. There are, but I think we have a long way to go. And there are some reports, there are some studies that have already been done, undertaken. which shows that the women representation is really, really low. Gender discrimination, which affects women directly. And also there are so many, I'll just quickly talk about the factors that are involved, right? So there are some organizational factors, there are some social factors. So in most of the researches, they talk about the organizational factors, like there is a difference in the pay mechanism, because when we talk about equality, we say that we provide the same thing to men and women, but it is not equality that we want, it is equity that we aim for, because women have a lot of other things to take care of. They have to take care of their homes as well, the child as well. So if we say we have been given, men and women in the organization are given the equal parameters of judgment, equal, you know, everything is equal in the organization, this is not justified, because when they go back home, it is women who have to take care of so many things. That's where the concept of equity should come into picture. Okay, so I'll talk about certain more factors, like organizational factors I've talked about. Then there are social factors. Social factors include taking care of the child, lack of support from the family. Then at times they have to leave their jobs, take a break because of the same reasons. And when they go back after a few years of break, after a sabbatical, they're not provided equal pay at times. One more interesting thing. Okay. So methodology is, the aim is to do a thorough analysis of the kinds of barriers that leads to low women representation at top level management. And total of 20 papers were screened, and the conclusions are as follows that I'll be sharing. As I've told that there are some organizational factors that plays an important role. Then there are some social factors that affect this gender disparity, this low women representation at top level. At the same time, one very interesting thing that I would like to highlight here is that women have, there is also some personal factors. Women at times have a perception in their mind that they are less than their male counterparts. They have this perception of undermining themselves, and that is also one reason that they, their representation at top is really low. So, and yeah, as I already told that the factors are common in wherever you go, in whichever country you go. It is not just India as we think it is. The factors are common to women, working women. And yeah, the purpose of this research was to highlight the factors, that is organizational factors, social factors, and some personal factors. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, if we have to take some sort of action to address this issue, right? So
Right,
to
sir.
have maybe better participation of women in the top leadership, right? What all need to be done? I mean, as per your understanding and as per your research.
Sir, I believe like the Companies Act 2013 talked about, introduced a new section of women director. Like there is a category of companies who need to appoint at least one women director on board. So one thing is, companies usually follow, they try to follow law in letter and not just in spirit. So if you want to appoint one women director on board, it shouldn't be the wife of the CEO or some male, because that by this you are only fulfilling the complying the law, not just in letter but not in spirit. So there are so many minor things, and this actually the PhD, the topic of my PhD also is a similar one. So I'll be undertaking some qualitative research as well for the same. I'll be what I want to do is I want to interview some women who have reached the top, and what are the challenges that they have faced, because it's really tricky to dig out the true answers out of them.
I think here the piece of advice is you should also look for maybe other side who could not reach out to, I mean, achieve that level with caliber, even those who are having potential but could not reach to the top, right?
Yes,
Top
yes. And
leadership. So,
organizational, sir,
yeah.
organizational policies, HR policies plays an important role there. Like they have to be women supportive. The women should be provided some flexible timings, even if the males are not provided so, because that's what equity talks about. And yes, other parameters as well. I cannot hear. Yeah, it's coming from far off. So sounds like
So I'm saying, you are saying that for women, there should be a flexible timing so that they can work and they can reach to the top, right? But at the same time, males are also having the family and the responsibilities, right? So we cannot discriminate between that. If she's the female, so she will get the more flexible timings, or male will not get the flexible timings, right? So I don't think so. On that basis, we can discriminate or like maybe consider as one of the factors why the females are not going to be at that level.
Ma'am, the point is, I agree, if both the partners are working, the question is that who cooks at home when they go back? Who takes care of the
Nowadays,
child?
I guess both are equally responsible. Right? If you
Yes,
see, if both
that's
are working, both are taking the responsibility.
yeah, if at all they are taking the responsibility.
Then it's fine.
If at all, yes, that's the question, ma'am. Because after all, it comes, like everything comes on women. It will be the mother who will take a break from the job when they have to take care of the child. It will be the mother who will take a back seat. If we talk about,
I think basically we have to change the mindset first. Because
yes,
women also have that mindset that we can't do this because we have
absolutely.
so much responsibility, right?
And claim their ownership and claim that ownership. I think, yes.
So one technical question is, what are the inclusion and exclusion criteria you have adopted for the systematic literature review?
I'm sorry.
How you have considered the paper, how you have included the paper and rejected the paper?
Okay, so I tried to take the papers which talked about organizational factors, social factors, and personal factors, because obviously my PhD research is also around these barriers, these factors. So these are the factors, these are the barriers that I undertook, which talked about these factors majorly.
Krishti, you can also in this you can talk about why organizations go for. I mean, they prefer, maybe that can be a hypothesis. They prefer man over woman for top leadership, right? So that can be I mean, as a researcher, you should be very neutral in your approach, right? Why
Right.
organizations go for, whether it is flexibility or something else, right? What is the requirement of that profile? Being on top notch, what all required, and then why organizations prefer one over other, whosoever, right?
Right.
So in certain profiles, maybe one might be better than men. So for certain profiles, maybe other way around. So what are those differences in profile where one sort of preferred over others, and certain profiles may be neutral, where both are, I mean, maybe equally preferred? Getting the point?
Right. So you're asking me to
The profile, yes, where one is preferred over other. So what's the difference between profiles?
Profile based on the experience and the qualification, is it?
Hello.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm not, you're not audible. Your voice is breaking.
Okay. Am I
Not clearly, ma'am, not clearly. Ma'am, can you write in the chat box, please? Because yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Okay.
I don't know how.
I think. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when organizations look for the top profile, what are the factors they consider for that, right? So what are the factors organizations consider for those top profiles? So if you can consider that in a study, I think that will make more it's more relevant, right, work to go for.
Sir, my study talks about why there is low representation at top. So for the top level management positions, there can be different profiles. Like the question is the person who is taking the interview, how the person is judging the other person. What are the parameters on which they are judged? Is the woman eliminated just because she is a woman? Is it also because there are so many men?
Matchmaking, right? When we go for manager, all of the matchmaking, right? What are the things that are sort of compatibility for the profile? So you look for both for the profile. What are the requirements?
Yes. Right.
Candidate can be male and female, whatever. So
yes,
it is important to understand this requirement first.
Right.
For that profile, right? So in your study, you should have thorough. I mean, maybe what are the factors considered in coming up with this profile? What are the requirements of this profile, right? And then, yeah. No worry. So look for that. I mean, that matchmaking thing is very important. Whether
Okay.
that profile and what are the requirements for that profile, and whether there's a, I mean, skill set or something else going to play a very major role in picking that slot.
Okay,
right
sir.
person.
I'll definitely undertake these points, sir.
Yes. So should consider maybe a couple of samples. What are the requirements for top profile?
Right.
Because HR at times, obviously, organizations, they run the business for profit. They want to make money out of that, right?
Yes.
Hardly carry this, as for my maybe assumption, this biasness of male and female. Whosoever go and perform and make money for the organizations, they pick that particular. Right? Their job is to make money, not to have preference male over female or female over male, right? Whosoever is best suited to that profile should be picked, right? That is because it's not a, I mean, somebody's nepotism kind of thing, right? Private organizations go by the caliber. So it's caliber and requirement of the profile. It's moving around the country, something like that, and females may not be that much, I mean, available to move around and have, getting the point. So it's important to understand and try to highlight the factors which may play very vital role in picking of these top slots, right? And then look for, yes, what are the maybe characteristics of maybe top-notch candidates, and then go for this matchmaking, right?
Right, sir. Yes. Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable comments. Thank you so much, everyone.
Best of luck for your PhD.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I would like to invite our internal session chair to convey our thanks to Dr. Sandeep Kumar Gupta.
Back and give better research in the areas. So thank you so much. We'd like to give you the certificate for the appreciation for chairing a session. So I'll call it.
For giving us the opportunity of being part of this esteemed conference.
Once again, I would like to thank you, sir, for your time and for your valuable input. Last, I would like to thank all of you who were part of this event for giving us your time. Thank you so much.